Hey guys, Andrew Shroud. I'm here in the sideboard. I'm sitting with Frank Skarren and Seth Manfield. These are two of the finest limited minds in the country. Have, 4 Grand Prix titles between you guys, I believe. And we're gonna pick the brains on some Cons Limited. So let's kick things off. What is the best common in Cons of KTK Draft?
In draft, I'd have to say Debilitating Injury, the removal spell.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 mana to kill a morph is really good in this format. So, Debilitating Injury, there's not really a common that's monocolored that's really comes that close to it.
Yeah,
okay.
It lets you trade up in mana, and it also is non-committal, which is great.
All right.
So.
Is there anything even close? Is it just standalone the best?
I'd say the morph cycle, the common morph cycle, is up there. All those cards are really powerful.
Oh, the 3-color unmorph for 6.
Yeah, like Obzon Guide or Snowhorn Rider. They like half commit you because they're still morphs.
Sure.
You could maybe like end up playing 2 of the colors and have like 1 tap land to splash the other one in. So I do think those are up there, but me personally, I like to just take the solid removal spell and not commit to 3 colors if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Once you're a dedicated 3-color deck, then the tricolor creatures, they're going to go up significantly in value. Sure. But it's hard to anticipate that. As far as those creatures go, I do really like the Snowhorn Rider and the Absent Guide the most.
Okay.
I also really like Weapon Master Freed. I feel like he, just like the +3/+0, you can really put your opponent in some awkward positions. Right. And the first strike's also great.
So those are probably like the 3 premier threats after Debilitating.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The guy that unmorphs and makes 3/1/1
Pony Back Brigade?
Pony Back, yeah, he can be very good.
They're all good. Like, don't get me wrong, they're all if I'm in those colors, I want these cards.
Right, okay, but there's not really much sense in asking which one is better than the others.
Sure.
Because it just depends on which.
Yeah, it really just depends on where you are.
I would say for the Pony Back in particular, if you have some of the pump effects, like maybe a trumpet.
Yeah, the Pony Back has really nice synergy.
Or the +2/+1, then that card can become the best common.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. How many gain lands is too many gain lands in draft?
Okay. Are we talking just gain lands or gain lands and tri lands?
We'll say tap lands.
Okay, tap lands. I mean, if you're playing 5-color, for example, that I don't know if they're like. I mean, there's a limit, but it's probably somewhere around like 9, honestly.
Okay. That's
but if you're playing like 3 colors, you probably want like a good like 5 or 6 to like really make your mana smooth. I mean, just mana is important. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Your spells can be extremely powerful, but if you're not casting them, then they're just gonna sit here.
This is a format where I'd rather be taking my lands highly and then taking my spells later, rather than hoping to get the lands later in the draft where you don't know if they're going to be there or not.
Okay.
So I'd rather choose what colors I have based on what lands I have, and 5-color, it's definitely a deck, and in that deck, there's not really a number that you can have too many of them, especially since they gain life, so it sort of offsets the tempo you're losing.
Would you ever first pick a gain land?
I'd first pick a tri-land.
Sure. Yeah,
gain land, like maybe if the pack was pretty poor.
Okay.
It would have to be a weak pack.
Okay. All right, so you kind of already answered this, but the next question is 5-color a real archetype in draft?
Definitely. I mean, you could definitely just take lands early. Like, you spend, maybe half your early picks on lands as you see them, and then just pretty much in the later part of the draft, you take all the powerful spells you see. Sure. And it really can come together, because, like Seth said, your starting life total is going to be like more like 23 or 24, honestly. So you don't have to worry about getting run over that much.
Okay.
So while 5-color is definitely a real deck, I think it's more common to have, you may have 5 colors in your deck, but it may be more base, maybe 3 colors, and then splash another couple colors, because you're not, even though you may want a bunch of lands, you don't really want to pick up like a ton rather than taking all the good cards.
So you've got to be very careful even when you are 5 colors.
And I mean, that's the beauty of the morphs, because it could be, no matter how many colors it is, just 3 mana, you got a Grey Ogre, so.
Okay. All right, so what archetype do you guys most want to be drafting?
There are a few that I like a lot. My favorite probably right now is like a Sultai deck that's like pretty heavy on the Delve strategy. Delve is just really powerful. You can just like catch up from behind by like, as long as you're like trading early, you can then just like make big tempo plays late in the game when you're playing like 1 mana 4/4s, for example.
Okay.
And I also feel like it's very underappreciated right now, so it's usually more open.
Okay. Seth?
Yeah, I like a strategy that just has a ton of morphs. Sometimes it'll be base blue-green is my favorite with like a secret plans in it. Because being able to play, like, go turn 2 secret plans and then play a morph, all of a sudden you have a 2-3, and that is going to stop a lot of basically the gray ogres in the format.
2-3 trumps 2-2.
Yeah.
They're going to have a 2-2 on turn
Once
3.
you start flipping over morphs, it's just
incredible.
a ton of card advantage. So I'll play blue-green and then splash another couple colors. So.
Okay. All right. What common in Cons of KTK Draft is being underrated the most right now?
I would have to go with Scout the Borders, which is the sorcery speed Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah.
And it ties into, I said I really like the Sultai deck, and the thing about that card is like, you think, well, Grizzly Salvage was an instant, it costs 2, but contextually this card, there was no delve with Grizzly Salvage.
Right.
Like, it basically says your next spell is free, almost. Like, you play it, next turn you could play a 1-mana Hooting Mandrills, a 1-mana Sultai Flyer, or you can just maybe fuel out a dead drop extremely early and just wreck your opponent. I think that card is extremely powerful, and I've gotten it, like, last pick consistently.
That sounds legit. Seth, what's your pick?
So mine is actually, this may be a little bit of a surprise, but it's War Behemoth, which is the 3/6
The white creature.
3/6 white morph. I found that 6 toughness can block just about everything on the ground, and in the games that I've played, a lot of people aren't really expecting that guy. Just having, maybe they'll unmorph their 5/3, for 5, and then you're gonna be like, well, I have a 3/6, and
Sure.
So
okay, it's like the re-trump when you get into like morph fun
battles.
Yeah, he is pretty good at winning morph battles. I gotta give him that.
Sure. Okay, so what rare in this format is the biggest trap? What's the most overrated rare in Cons of KTK?
I think I want to go with Flying Crane Technique. It seems really powerful. Like, don't get me wrong, it is powerful, but it's like kind of an overcosted overrun, honestly. Like, your guys need to be pretty big to really be getting value. And it works very well with prowess, but I've just seen people who are like, Flying Crane Technique, and they slam it, and then like when their deck comes together, it's like, maybe this card really isn't that great for me. Like, it can win games that you normally can't win, but I just don't love it as much as it
requires a little too much setup, I think.
I think so.
Okay. Seth, what do you think?
So one thing about this format is it's easy to say, but there's just a ton of good rares, and a lot of them are tricolors. So once you're drafting a 3-color rare, at that point it's pretty powerful already. They're really not printing at this point 3-color rares that are just
not powerful.
Like for a rare not to be a bomb in this format is actually pretty unusual. Like, besides a couple rares and the fetch lands, most of the rares are just very good limited cards, and they're one of the primary reasons why you want to stay flexible and be able to play a number of colors.
Okay, so basically the trap is picking 3 colors in your first pick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with taking a 3-color card first pick, but don't feel obligated to play it.
I gotcha. Okay, so this is a morph format. There are morphs left and right.
Yeah.
So, a little hypothetical situation here.
Okay.
If your opponent plays a morph on turn 3,
okay,
and then another morph on turn 4,
okay,
and then on your turn 4 you have a removal spell, then kill either of them. Which one do you kill?
I would probably kill the second morph.
Okay.
Because, like, theoretically, and I mean this is like the level 1 way of thinking of it, like your first morph, like, because like the morphs unmorph on 5 also, so like you could just play your first morph, like maybe looking to trade with their morph, or maybe you don't care if that one dies. But the one on turn 4, you're normally really like setting up to flip that one over on turn 5. So that's usually the big one. But obviously it's a little situation.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think generally, if you want to kill the most powerful morph that's going to have a greater impact on the game later, you kill the second one. But if you're trying to kill the morph that might have an immediate impact on the board, sometimes you'll put a morph down that one of the reveal morphs that will just flip over immediately. So if you want to get rid of maybe that 06 or that 1/1 Death Touch, you kill it, and then you're willing to say, look, if you're willing to invest 5 or 6 mana on that other morph later in the game, I'm going to be winning anyways.
Okay. So you guys think generally the first morph is more either the bait or the tempo play, and the second morph is the one like the abs and guides.
The first morph is usually monocolored. Is a good rule usually. I find.
Frank, Seth, thanks for sitting down with me, guys.
No problem. Glad to do it.
Stick around. We've got plenty more coverage coming of Grand Prix Orlando.